Most AI support tools promise automation, but when customers ask real questions, a lot of them fall apart. In this video, I'm putting that to the test. I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome back to my channel, where I break down tools that help businesses scale without breaking trust. That is so important. Today, we're comparing some of the most popular customer support platforms on the market: Zendesk, Gorgias, Intercom, Freshdesk, and another one that's been getting a lot of attention lately, and that's Tidio. This video is sponsored by Tidio. I'm gonna show you how these tools handle real support scenarios, where they shine and where they struggle, so you can decide what's right for your business. Now, before we talk about things like pricing or features, I want to start with the basics. How does AI handle a simple, everyday support question? Let's start with a very common customer support question and see how it's handled across many platforms with an example. On screen, I, the customer, in this case, might say something like, "I'm checking on my order. It hasn't arrived yet, and I'm not sure what's going on." This is a realistic message, right? There's no order number, no extra context, and that's intentional because this is how customers actually write in. Now look at the response. The AI immediately points the customer to an order tracking page and asks for an order number so a support agent can help. Technically, that's correct. Nothing has been resolved. Let's look at some specific tools. Okay, Zendesk, it is everywhere, but it's built for large teams, complex workflows, and ticket volume, not necessarily fast, human-feeling support. Yes, Zendesk is built first and foremost as a ticketing and routing system for large teams. You can see that immediately in how it's priced and structured. Everything is designed around agents, seats, and scale. And it starts affordably, but add-ons make that price escalate real quick. Let's try Zendesk on Zendesk, a little meta here. Here's a chat that I've started. In my experience, Zendesk is very good at classification, routing, helping agents move faster, but it's not really designed to resolve conversations end-to-end on its own. In my experience setting Zendesk up for clients, a lot of the work happens before you ever go live, and it's a lot of work. You're configuring workflows, triggers, permissions, automations, so the system behaves the way that you want it. The setup gives you control, but also adds complexity. AI here is confident, but it's clearly trained to guide users into predefined paths, pricing, plans, sales conversations. And that makes sense in an enterprise environment, but notice what it's not doing. It's not trying to resolve a support issue on its own. It's classifying intent, directing the conversation toward the next system or team. And I think for enterprise teams with high ticket volume, that trade-off makes sense. Zendesk shines where support is about managing people, queues, processes across a large organization. If you look quickly here at G2's review data, you can see who these tools are actually built for. Tidio's reviews overwhelmingly come from small businesses, whereas Zendesk reviews skew much more towards mid-market and enterprise teams. What's the difference? Small businesses tend to value fast setup, clarity, tools that work out of the box. They don't usually have dedicated admins or time to fine-tune complex workflows before seeing value. Zendesk, on the other hand, makes more sense if you have really large teams, high ticket volume, formal support processes in place. Not a bad tool, just optimized for a very different stage of growth. Next, Gorgias is very popular with Shopify stores, and it's built for e-commerce, but with that focus comes trade-offs. Gorgias is deeply integrated with Shopify. You can see that right away. It's designed to pull in order data, edit details, help e-commerce teams move quickly from one place. So that's what we're gonna try in this example. Now, this is interesting. The bot collects my email, then it tells me that someone will follow up later. I didn't actually notice this originally. The original question just sits there unacknowledged. Now, I'm not saying Gorgias always behaves this way. I'm sure it's due to setup. But this does highlight how its AI is often designed around very rigid and predefined flows rather than open-ended resolution. I don't love having to go somewhere else like my inbox to continue the conversation, and certainly not even have my message acknowledged. And as AI usage increases, prices ramp up fast. So Gorgias makes sense for e-commerce first teams that want tight Shopify support, is what I would say. And I think it's less than ideal if you need AI that's more adaptable across different channels and use cases. Intercom and Freshdesk sit somewhere in the middle of all of this. Capable tools, but built with very different priorities. With two main product offerings, Intercom now is built primarily for SaaS and onboarding. You can see that in how Fin is positioned here, guiding users through known paths and product questions. It's a plus that it can work with almost any help desk. That's cool. It works well, I would say, for in-app support, predictable workflows, less focused on e-commerce use cases like order changes or shipping issues. Very important to note, pricing is tied to resolutions, so cost can scale very quickly. And like most enterprise tools, resolution depends heavily on how much you configure upfront. Hopping over to Freshdesk, this takes a much broader approach, offers a wide set of features and AI tools designed to work across many industries. You can launch AI agents quickly, manage everything in one workspace, but AI performance varies depending on setup. So again, the system can assist in route, but meaningful resolution still depends on workflows, rules, and configuration behind the scenes. Okay, this is where Tidio takes a different approach. Instead of replacing your system, it focuses on resolving conversations. First thing, Tidio's Lyro is trained only on your verified data. So that means it's not guessing or pulling from generic FAQs. Every response is grounded in the content that you've approved. We can test this out with a few popular examples on their website. This has been trained on publicly available data. It's really fun and I recommend trying this. Let's start with a suggested example from Patagonia, a brand we all love. Are your wading boots repairable? Okay, so as the conversation unfolds, you'll notice the tone stays consistent and on brand, links for more information if I need it. Now let's click over to Netflix, another popular example. We'll try one that is on the top of my head. How can I add someone to my household? Okay, so the response here, on brand, emojis this time for Netflix, and all the information I need in great detail. I can click over to the source if I need it. By the way, Lyro also handles multiple questions in a single conversation, and it doesn't rely on rigid decision trees or one question at a time flows. You can define a small set of guidance rules, and the AI uses those to stay accurate and on brand. Most businesses, by the way, can set up basic guidance rules in about 30 minutes. This is why this is so great for small businesses. Even more complex scenarios typically take around 1 to 2 hours, but there's no heavy scripting or fragile automation chains and no long onboarding period. One of the most interesting things about Tidio is that you don't have to switch platforms. Lyro doesn't ask you to rip out your existing support stack. It sits on top of it. You can keep using tools like Zendesk, Intercom, as well as API connections, and then you can layer Lyro in as the AI agent that actually handles conversations. That means that AI quality improves without disrupting how your team works. So your help desk stays the same, your processes stay the same, but the responses get more accurate, more contextual, more capable of resolving issues without constant handoffs. Think of it this way, Lyro is for businesses that want better AI outcomes now without taking on a long, risky platform switch just to get there. So what's the takeaway? Well, Zendesk is built for enterprise ticketing. Gorgias is strong for Shopify first businesses. Intercom and Freshdesk cover a lot of ground but require careful setup. Tidio stands out if your priority is resolution, trust, and AI that actually feels helpful, and especially for small and mid-sized teams that don't want complexity. If you're curious, I've linked to Tidio below so that you can try it for yourself. Drop a comment and tell me what kind of support challenges you're dealing with right now. I read every single one of them. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.